This is Robert Kalua with the news on Zodiac. The headlines this hour. Scabies outbreak hits Desert District schools most affected. Child rights activists propose in-depth research on street children for realistic resolution to end their challenges. Long await for duty-free week, law on the same yet to be gazetted a month after passing in Parliament. And in sports, Silver Strikers fears match fixing could spoil final stages of the TNM Super League campaign. Out of 2,475 people screened in Dedza in the past 2 months, 2,099 have been diagnosed with scabies, a development that is of increasing concern to health authorities in the district. In addition, 376 people have also been diagnosed with other skin diseases. The development has mostly affected school-going children. From Dedza, Chikondi Mpande filed this report.
Various skin conditions have hit hard Dedza district, but scabies is accounting for over half of the cases. For example, data from District's Health Office indicates the district has registered 2,099 cases of scabies, while 376 cases of other skin conditions. And according to some community members that we have talked to, the problem is very serious in schools in their area surrounding Chief Kapoka. Some community members that we have talked to have said the outbreak is being worsened by the current drug shortage in public hospitals, as some said when they go to hospital, they are not being given any treatment. However, this has been disputed by health authorities. Mwaili Abunya is Dedza District Health spokesperson.
The health workers were not ready to continue to engage the communities so that they are aware of what scabies are or what other skin conditions can affect them, so that we cap the further spread of this disease. Scabies being a contagious disease spreads quickly when we are living in physical close contact.
Currently, the country is going through a serious drug shortage for essential medicines. Government recently said it has set aside funds to restock its reserve.
The Lilongwe District Health Office says it has almost exhausted the 29,000 doses of Johnson & Johnson vaccine barely a month after the administration of the jab started. Our spot checks in some health centers on Monday have revealed that some health centers, like the one in Area 25, have halted the exercise as it has exhausted both Johnson and AstraZeneca vaccines. Alina Femulamba filed this report.
Lilongwe received 29,000 doses of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine from the 302,000 doses which the country received in August this year. Scores of people scrambled for the jab, but the situation has now changed barely a month after the exercise started. However, some facilities in Lilongwe, such as Area 25, have been closed since Thursday last week as they have run out of stock of vaccines. Despite the low turnout in most facilities, Lilongwe District Health Office Public Relations Officer Richard Mvula seems not to be moved by the situation, adding that the district has used its target. He was, however, quick to point out that the low turnout is because a majority received the jab, saying the inoculation program is so far going well.
The consignment which we received, we have used our location, and some centers starting from last week they reported that they don't have the vaccine, like Johnson & Johnson. They're only having the AstraZeneca. One, if you are to remember, there was a high turnover of vaccine, people looking for the vaccine. And if you are to look into the urban centers, we might conclude that some of the individuals have already been vaccinated because the Lilongwe alone were above 100,000 plus.
As of Monday, the country has used 212,788 from the 29,000 doses of the Johnson & Johnson jabs, whose consignment will be expiring in November.
Executive Director of Foundation for Children's Rights, Jennifer Mkandawire, has stressed on the need for the inclusion of street children on decisions touching on their lives, saying that is the only way society will find permanent solutions to challenges that are being faced in Malawi now. Mkandawire says there has to be an in-depth research and strong monitoring framework to resolve the problem, rather than forcibly take these children off city streets. This follows a call by Gender, Children and Community Development Minister Patricia Kaliati for police to remove children from streets amid rising attacks on city dwellers. Our Zuleka Nanguo filed this report.
Amid increasing cases of terror where people have reported that they have been robbed by street children, Minister of Gender Patricia Kaliati has asked police to remove street children from the country's cities. This was said on Saturday during the Big Walk fundraising event organized by Kambiri CCAP at Bangwe in Blantyre to raise 33 million kwacha for the church's leader's house.
Number of children who are in Limbi, they're coming from that area, Banana, Bangwe. So we are saying, as believers, if you are blessed with 2-3 children, there's no way that you befriend yourself to another woman and you ask also a child from there.
However, child rights activists have asked the government to include the street children's participation in this decision. Child rights activist Amos Chibwana says the government should engage non-government organizations that work with street children for the initiative to yield desirable results.
I would appreciate if the ministry would involve the children themselves, because these children, they have reasons why they are being found on the street and not in their various homes. If the ministry would come up with the right interventions of engaging these children, they would have the best ways of removing these children.
On the other hand, Executive Director for Foundation for Children's Rights, Jennifer Nkandawire, has asked the government to hear the children's views and put a strong monitoring framework to ensure that they get maximum security and social care at places they will be taken to.
When they are implementing that move to take children out of the streets and accommodate them somewhere, there is need for the ministry to put in a strong monitoring framework that would ensure that wherever the children are being taken to, the place is secure and all social support.
This is not the first time the government has made an effort to remove all street children from the country's cities. However, there has been reports from the children that they suffer abuse in the places they are taken to, hence going back to the streets.
Government has described the death of Mzimba East parliamentarian Wezi Gondwe as a big blow to Parliament as the country as she was one of the female parliamentarians who was keen on development issues. Speaking at a funeral ceremony for the late Gondwe on Monday, Deputy Minister of Local Government Halima Daudi said the legislator's departure is sad and it has come at a time when Parliament has also lost 3 female members of Parliament. Vanani Nyirenda filed this report.
Speaking on the sidelines of the funeral ceremony at Chiri Village, Deputy Minister of Local Government Halima Daudi said the death of a Member of Parliament from Mzimba East, Wezi Gondwe, is a blow to Parliament and the country as she was dedicated to development. Daudi said it's sad to note that the death of Gondwe comes at a time when Parliament has already lost 3 female parliamentarians.
Now, as women caucus in Parliament, we've lost. She's the 3rd lady MP this year leaving us. So we've lost 3 women, so the number's gone down. So we're praying that God should help us to get another woman and to replace her in Parliament.
In his remarks, Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Madari Kazombo, shared similar sentiments, describing late Wezi Gondwe as a parliamentarian who was developmental conscious. Kazombo said her death is coming when Parliament has already lost 8 parliamentarians.
As Parliament, we tried our level best. We had to charter a plane all the way to South Africa for her to be saved.
Member of Parliament for Mulanje Bale, Victor Msoa, who represented the opposition DPP, said they are also saddened and touched by the death of the MP who was working with the party after the 2019 election. Apart from being a member of Parliament, Gondwe was also a member of the Agriculture and Irrigation Committee and the Commission's Statutory Corporations and State Enterprises Committee. Member of Parliament from Mzimba East, West Gondwe, died at Garden City Clinic in South Africa on Wednesday last week, where she was being treated for a liver problem. Born in 1983, she has left 4 children, 3 girls and 1 boy. Wezi Gondwe was elected as the Member of Parliament from Mzimba East in 2019 on an independent ticket. For Zodiak, I am Vanani Renda.
First Lady Monica Chakwera has called on religious community to always remember putting the first couple in prayers. The First Lady, speaking on Sunday during a fundraising event for Legion of Mary of the Catholic Church, said the role of seeking divine intervention is crucial to the nation. We have a report filed by Winston Kaimina.
As one way of preparing for the Legion of Mary Centenary National Celebration scheduled for 16th October this year, the Roman Catholic Church held a fundraising event in Lilongwe where First Lady Monica Jagwera was the guest of honor. In her speech, Jagwera called on the religious community to always remember praying for the first couple, saying God's intervention is needed for smooth running of the country. The First Lady commended the Roman Catholic Church for its openness on spiritual matters as well as addressing matters of national importance such as economic empowerment targeting young people. Dr. Mary Shawa, who is the chairperson for the Region of Mary Centenary Celebration Organizing Committee, said they will call for areas of focus from the First Lady to seek divine intervention.
The First Lady has said the President needs prayers, she needs prayers. We will ask for special intentions, and the President's special intentions, we will pray for them. We are sure God will answer. You know, Malawi needs healing. That healing has to come from prayer.
The First Lady has since donated 1 million kwacha, while spouse to the Vice President Mary Chilima donated 500,000 kwacha to the organizing committee. This is Winston Kaimira reporting for Zodiac.
A new faith-based organization, United Mission Foundation, has vowed to align its focus to the country's development blueprint, the Malawi 2063, with an aim of uplifting the socio-economic standards of the vulnerable. Speaking in Lilongwe, when its officials announced the registration of the organization, Public Relations Officer Kinia Mluwoka said they plan to venture into child education, food nutrition, agriculture productivity and access to loans, among others. He added that their 5-year projects are to the tune of 68 million euros, which is equivalent to 71 billion kwacha. You're watching the news here on Zodiac. We'll be back with more after this.
Wow, hi Nancy.
Yeah.
Wow, how are you?
I'm good, and how are you?
But how have you managed to have this beautiful and well-stocked shop, Nancy?
My friend, these things don't come on a silver platter.
Tell me about it.
You need to invest. I had to grow my money. I grew every single penny that I made out of my monthly savings. You know what? Sometimes you don't just have to use all the money that you get. You really need to make an investment. So, yeah, this is it.
Where do I start? I get so little money and I'm thinking that, is it possible to reach this far?
My friend, it doesn't mean that you should have all the money in the world. Come on. You can save even the little money that you get each month. There are so many ways of making an investment.
Really?
Yes. This could be investing in financial assets. You can make a fixed and savings deposits with commercial banks. You can buy an insurance policy. You can invest in treasury bills. You can also invest in physical assets like commodities or property.
Make a decision today. Invest your money to accomplish your goals.
Muntu mmodzi payekha sangamange mudzi, koma anthu angapo kubwera pamodzi timati uwu nde mudzi. Pamodzi tili ndi kuthekera kobweretsa chitukuko mdera lathu. Network yathu ya Chimalawi ya TNM yakhala ikuthandiza madera ambiri mu njira zosiyanasiyana. Komano pano TNM ikufuna kupitiriza ntchitoyi mogwirizana ndi ife eni ake amudzi. Ndi nkani yabweretsa TNM mudzi wathu. Mukagwiritsa ntchito TNM poimba foni, kutumiza ma SMS, kugwiritsa ntchito internet, kapena kugwiritsa ntchito mpamba, chaka chilichonse TNM idzipereka 1% kapena 1 kwacha pa 100 kwacha iliyonse ya ndalama zomwe yapanga kuti ithandizire pa chitukuko chomwe anthu akufuna mdera lawo. Tikabwera pamodzi ndi kugwirizana chimodzi, tikhonza kupanga zazikulu m'mudzi wathu. Tiyene m'mudzi wathu. Umodzi unamanga mtolo. Ndondomeko zidzatsatidwa.
Welcome back. A look at the headlines as we continue. Scabies outbreak hits the district schools most affected. Child rights activists propose in-depth research on street children for realistic resolution to end their challenges. Long await of duty-free week, law on the same yet to be gazetted, a month after passing in Parliament. And in sport, Silver Strikers fears match fixing could spoil final stages of the TNM Super League campaign. Moving on with the news, Malawians will need to hold on a little longer before they start to enjoy duty-free week, since a law on the same is yet to be gazetted over a month after Parliament passed this year's national budget. Minister of Finance spokesperson Williams Banda says the gazetting process is still underway. Meanwhile, Malawi Revenue Authority says it is sensitizing people about the week pending the actual gazetting. Happy Jeremano with more in this report.
Spokesperson in the Ministry of Finance, Williams Banda, says Malawians will be told when to import goods without paying duty when the whole process is concluded.
The arrangement for the duty-free is being made. However, there is a requirement that that particular week should be gazetted. And the plans are underway to ensure that Malawians should indeed import their items worth $2,000 without paying any taxes.
Spokesperson for Malawi Revenue Authority, Steve Kapoloma, says they are meanwhile sensitizing people about the week while waiting for its gazetting.
One way in which we are preparing ourselves is also to ensure that we prepare the public in order for them to know the procedures to do before the duty-free week, the procedures to follow during the duty-free week, and what to follow afterwards.
Parliament this year passed the national budget, which contains the duty-free week, about a month ago.
The Pesticides Control Board PCB has expressed optimism that government nod to deploy pesticides inspectors in the country's borders will assist to counter the smuggling of fake pesticides into the country. The board registrar Mishek Soko told our Christopher Sunday in Blantyre on Monday that the board is also intending to remove highly hazardous pesticides on the market by November this year in order to actually protect people, animals and the environment. Meanwhile, chairperson for the Crop Life Malawi, Typhoid Chirwa, asked PCB to be vigilant in curbing illegal entry of pesticides into the country. Malawi Bureau of Standards, MBAs, has engaged small and medium-sized enterprises in Lilongwe as part of scaling campaign to encourage more business persons to have their businesses registered and certified by the Bureau. MBS Region Officer for Central Region, Richard Kubaro, said on Monday during the beginning of a 2-day training for the SMEs that certification guarantees standardization, which is crucial for competitive markets. Solisina Ngoma filed this report.
The Malawi Bureau of Standards Central Region Officer Richard Kubalo has indicated that SMEs, which are a backbone of the country's economy, need to be empowered through certification to enable them compete on the international market. He added that they should be committed to the training sessions which will assist their products to get certified. In addition to building the capacity of the SMEs, Kubalo added that the Bureau has subsidized the cost of certification and standard fees for SMEs by 50%.
You cannot have a product on the market unless it is certified that it meets the minimum requirements of the specific standard for that product. This actually is to make sure that consumers are eating products or accessing services that are up to standard.
CEMED business training specialist Apiwan Sanja say the training sessions and certification enable the SMEs to not miss out on big businesses.
For example, an SME does not have business registration certificate. They cannot get a tax clearance certificate. They cannot get a PPDA certificate. Therefore, they are not able to compete in procurement services. So if there's a call for a tender or a bid in the papers, they will not be able to participate.
According to the Malawi Bureau of Standards, the workshops are meant to contribute to the creation of 1 million jobs in the country.
Let's now have a look at sports. The Bankers Association of Malawi and Technical Entrepreneurship and Vocational Training TVET have signed a memorandum of understanding that will target 3,000 TVET beneficiaries to get financial literacy trainings and loans to start their own enterprises in the next 3 years. TVET Board Chairperson Don Wayo and BAM Chief Executive Officer Linus Sinkungula believe that the initiative is strong catalyst to spur economic growth in the country. And Silver Strikers Football Club has expressed fears that match fixing could spoil final stages of the current league campaign if authorities do not harmonise fixtures involving teams in the title race. The Central Bank's Chief Executive Officer Toko Chimbali says at the moment all teams in the title race have to be playing at the same time and same number of games as a measure of preventing match fixing that mostly emerge when the league is nearing its end. Sam Banda with more.
Silver Strikers' concern comes following the Week 29 fixtures in the Top Flight League, which has seen the Reserve Bank of Malawi outfit assigned 2 games against Mighty Wanderers on 11th September and Ntopa FC on 15th September respectively. During this period, their fellow title contenders Nyasa Big Bullets have been exempted from domestic assignments due to national team and CAF Champions League engagements. The reigning champions have contributed 4 players to the Flames squad and are also expected to play South Africa's Amazulu in the Continental Showpiece between 10th and 18th September. Silver's Chief Executive Officer Toko Chimbali says Sulom should exercise caution and perhaps cancel all games involving the title hopefuls to defuse possible match-fixing threat.
World over, where the league is played professionally, you would never see these issues where a team will play 2 games ahead of the rest. They all play at the same time. We would ask Sulom, just like the same way they've done with the relegation zone, where teams were playing at the same time and no teams had a game in hand, they should do the same with the teams that are vying for championship.
Football expert George Kaudzamasina says the Central Bankers' concern is genuine.
When you are in a competitive league, TNM in our case, at this point, all games will be played at the same time. But as it stands, Sulom is encouraging match fixing, maybe unknowingly. They have to go back to the drawing board and make sure that they have leveled the playing field.
But Sulom authorities claim changing the fixtures at the moment would force a costly extension of the campaign, which has tentatively been planned to wind up at the start of October.
And finally, Malawi national football team, the Flames, is hoping to register its first win in its campaign to qualify for the 2022 Qatar World Cup. The Flames take on Mozambique in South Africa on Tuesday after losing its first game against Cameroon. The team is being forced to use South Africa as its home ground after Bingu National Stadium failed to pass CAF certification test. Now, analysts believe that the fact that the Flames is playing home away from home could have a psychological impact to the team. Well, and that's about what we had time for in this edition of news. But before we go, let's have a look at the headlines. Scabies outbreak hits Dedza district, schools most affected. Child rights activists propose in-depth research on street children for realistic resolution to end their challenges. Long await of duty-free week, law on the same yet to be gazetted a month after passing in Parliament. And in sports, Silver Strikers fears match fixing could spoil final stages in the TNM Super League campaign. Visit our website zodiacmalawi.com for more.